It's a brand new month, but the same great show. It's Monday, February 1st, 2021, and this is The Early Edge. I am the coach. We're powered by SportsLine, and I got to tell you, if you're going to go down in flames, then it better be coming off of 6 straight winning days. Sunday, it wasn't our day. However, to cushion the blow a little bit, we did have 4 golf winners, including Victor Hovland, plus 350 for a top 10 bet at the Farmers Insurance. And nobody's really talking about that tournament this weekend, were they? Wow. All right, but we got to start back up this week. It's Super Bowl week. The Super Bowl's on CBS. We're going to have a ton of extra shows this week, so make sure you hit those notifications so you know every time we put a new show in your feed. You know I had to go with our 3 All-Stars. Let's bring in our cappers right now. Oh, right below me. He's been on fire. He's been going against the grain and hitting Zack attack. Zack, what's going on, bud?
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, you can tell March Madness is right around the corner. Some crazy finishes this weekend. New month, I'm ready to do it.
Boom. And right next to Zack, before he lost Syracuse on Sunday, he was on a 10-0 heater right here on the Early Edge. Jim Squared, ready to get back on the horse?
Ready to get back on. I thought Syracuse was going to come back and get the win. Anytime you're up 4 or 5 points under a minute, miss shot, make some free throws, you cover, but didn't get it done. Ready to go new month, though. New streak.
I know, but the man right next to me always tells us it's about what we do next. The maestro, Larry Hartstein. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. It's all about bouncing back. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right, we're going to start with our storylines of the day that could directly affect some bets, some lines, some futures, whatever it might be. M Square, we're going to start with you in the NBA. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, there's a lot going on tonight. Obviously, a huge NBA slate. The biggest piece of news for me is going to be the status of Terry Rozier for the Charlotte Hornets. So he's someone who plays 33 minutes a game, is going to have a 25% usage rate. That's a lot to replace. There's no player props available yet, but when they are posted, I'll be looking at the LaMelo Ball and the Devontae Graham player props in that spot, even potentially some of the Gordon Hayward, although he does have a difficult matchup. And then another injury situation I'm watching is going to be Steven Adams for the New Orleans Pelicans. The loss of Adams' big body down there is probably going to be a big deal for them when they're trying to deal with Rashawn Holmes, Hassan Whiteside, Marvin Bagley down there. So look for that injury news to come out this afternoon, as that is likely going to impact that game in the NBA.
All right, very good. Now, Zack, for you, the Bulls have been in the news the last couple of days after Damian Lillard went bonkers with that game-winning 3, and they're back on the court tonight. What do you got coming out of Chicago?
Yeah, this one should be an interesting game just because Coach Thibodeau is returning to where he started his head coaching career with the Chicago Bulls. He does have some history, but not in the Eastern Conference. He was the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he was 5-1 when he played against the Chicago Bulls. Some of those were big blowouts, and I can't wait because my best bet's coming up on this game. Interesting
nugget. Tibbs' sister used to be the receptionist at my kid's dentist in Southington, Connecticut. I don't know why I told you that, but that's true. She would always tell me what Tibbs was up to. All right, now, Maestro, for you, we have made a lot of money this year off of Drake, and on Saturday they were 19-point favorites, and it came right down to the wire. What are you looking at tonight in that rematch?
Yeah, it came down to the wire, not in terms of a cover, but just to get a win. This was the only game all season they haven't covered. They were covering by double digits. In other words, their covers weren't even close. But this game, they were out of it from the very beginning. Their leading scorer got 3 fouls right away. They shot 4 of 30 from downtown, and they basically said, Illinois State's a bad team. We basically didn't think we were going to have to put out a max effort. They were real tough on themselves yesterday in the newspapers reading about the game. And it was interesting to see the line only come down from 18 to 17.5. I was looking to see if it would get to 15, 14 or something like that and maybe pounce on Drake, but I'm still going to dig deeper now in this Drake matchup.
All right, very good. So keep track of what the Maestro's doing throughout the day as that game gets closer to tip later tonight. Okay, it's time for our SportsLine play of the day, and today we're going to the NHL. Tampa Bay Lightning, minus 175, taking on the Predators. And again, we normally don't like to lay this much juice, but I feel good during the Super Bowl because sometimes the juice, Zack,
yeah,
worth the squeeze. Come on. No. Come on. You got to say it's worth the squeeze. Anyway, that completely fell on its head. Now, I will tell you this. Come on, Zack. If you use the promo code EDGE right now, we're going to give you 30 days for free. You're going to get all the prop bets. You're going to get all the Super Bowl bets. You're going to get all of our cappers, all of our simulations for free if you join SportsLine right now. Okay, Now, we've kind of tweaked the format the last few days, and you at home seem to love it, where our cappers give their best bets regardless of the sport. So, M Squared, we're going to start with you. Give it to me.
Tonight, we're headed to the NBA again, Coach, and all three of my plays are from the same game. So I'm focused on the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans. I mentioned earlier, Steven Adams is dealing with a calf injury. That is a big deal in this particular matchup. But if you look at the Kings, they're a really high variance team. So they've covered 4 straight games. The 4 games before that, they failed to cover all 4 of those. They've had multiple stretches of failing to cover 4 and covering 4 in a row. They're a very streaky team. I like the way they're playing right now, and a lot of it centers around what they're getting off the bench from Tyrese Halliburton and from Hassan Whiteside. So I like them +4 in this game. My simulations make them just +1 underdogs. So give me +4 all day. I think they're live to win outright, and I think that this game will be a pick'em if Steven Adams doesn't play. And then because of this game and the way it's going to play, the 2 player props that I like. Number 1, Eric Bledsoe, over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This is a play that we've been playing and winning every time here on the early edge. The sportsbooks have not adjusted. He covered this number last game in only 25 minutes due to a blowout. I just told you this game's going to be very competitive. He's going to play close to 35 minutes in this game. I have him going over by 2.7 combined in my simulations. And then finally, Tyrese Halliburton, over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has played over 30 minutes in 4 straight games. He is going to have a usage rate that's going to approach 23 to 24%. This number should be very similar to where Eric Bledsoe's number is, right? So that 23.5, that is what the number should be on Tyrese Halliburton. So give me over 20.5.
I think it's really smart that the synergy you have with your picks of the game, and then you got 2 players in said game. I think that's really, really smart. All right, Zach, nobody's going to care that you didn't help me out at the beginning of the show if you pick winners tonight. So what do you got today? What's your best bets?
Yeah, sorry about that. But we're going to start in the NBA with the Chicago Bulls -3.5. As I said earlier, the rationale, at first glance, the rationale is not there to take the Bulls on this game. They've lost 3 straight. They're just 2-6 at home. Their starting lineup, probably the youngest in the NBA, average age is just 22 years old. And then you throw in the revenge factor of Coach Thibodeau, but I won't fall for the trap on this one as I did last week against the Utah Jazz. I like the Bulls in this spot. As you said to start the show, they should have beat the Portland Trail Blazers the other night, but Damian Lillard hit the shot at the buzzer. I just think this is a good spot, and they'll bounce back tonight in a big way. In college basketball, I'll take Texas Tech -5.5 against the Oklahoma Sooners. Texas Tech was probably the craziest game of the weekend, the way they came back and beat LSU. They were down 7 points and came back and actually covered a 4.5-point spread. And I think that gets them going tonight. Oklahoma Sooners, they won 5 straight, but I just think it's too good to be true. The last 3 were as underdogs. And I think if you go with a ranked team as an underdog for 4 times in a row, you're asking for trouble. You can do that in March Madness, but not in the regular season. I think this will be a game that maybe the Sooners are leading at halftime, but in the second half, Texas Tech just storms them and everything unravels for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Zach, they didn't just come back. They scored the 12 points in the last 40 seconds of the game. They literally had no chance of winning that game, and they covered a 4.5-point spread. It was amazing. If you haven't seen it, Google it, look it up on YouTube. It was one of the most ridiculous coverage you've ever seen. All right, Maestro, I know you're ready, and today it's all about player props for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that Bulls game and go with 2 player props. Lauri Markkanen over 17.5. He had 31 points last time with no Wendell Carter. He's playing huge minutes, 36 minutes in 2 of his last 3 games. He's gone over this in 5 of his last 6. And RJ Barrett over 17.5. He's gone over this number in 8 of his last 10. He only played 31 minutes yesterday in the Garden, and he had played 40 the previous 2 games, so he should get a big usage tonight. And then I'm going to look at Christian Wood against OKC. His rebound number, 9.5. It is juiced to the over, but I'm going to go over 9.5. Over his last 6 games, averaging over 12 rebounds a game, coming off a 9-rebound effort, but that he only played 27 minutes because they didn't need him. It was a blowout. This game should be close. I think he gets double digits in rebounds.
Fantastic information from all 3. So here we go. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Time for the recap, Jacob. All right, M Squared. He likes the Kings plus the 4. Thinks it should be more around 1 or a pick 'em against the Pelicans. That's an 8 Eastern tip. Staying in that game likes Eric Bledsoe. Let's go back to the well. Over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Vegas has not adjusted this number yet. Then Tyrese Halliburton, over 20.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists for the Kings. For the Zack Attack, He likes the Bulls -4 against the Knicks. That's also an 8 Eastern tip. The Maestro, also at the SportsLine app, is backing the Bulls to back up Zach. And Texas Tech -5.5. This number has been moving between 6.5 and 5.5. So if it gets lower, grab it when you can. That's a 9 Eastern tip on ESPN. And then finally, the Maestro, 3-player props tonight in that Knicks Bulls game. R.J. Barrett over 17.5. Lauri Markkanen over 17.5 for the Bulls. And then Christian Wood, who's really come into his own for the Rockets this year, over 9.5 rebounds. And our SportsLine play of the day, the Lightning in the NHL, -175. You have your marching orders. Let's take all these tickets. Get back on a winning streak, straight to the pay window. Happy Super Bowl week to all of you. For M Squared, for Zack Attack, for the Maestro, for Chief, for the Jeweler, the cast of thousands, we're here for you. I am the coach. And remember, this is the only place every single day before 11 a.m. for your daily early edge. Good luck.